This morning on The Dish, a superstar of seasoning. Lior Lev Sercarz is known for spicing up the dishes of both restaurant kitchens and home cooks. Our own co-anchor, Michelle Miller, met up with him in the fall when his new book, Mastering Spice, came out.
I wake up in the morning, I put some in my tea, in my coffee, in my eggs.
The self-proclaimed king of spices.
You put spices in your tea and coffee?
I do.
Can't help creating flavors beyond the ordinary.
It's exciting. I put it in water even throughout the day. In a bottle of water, I put some.
Chef Lior Lev Sercarz says it's just in his nature.
It smells so good right now. What is it about spice?
Spices are one of the most important things in the culinary world, but also in the world, because it's a rare ingredient that touches everybody. And to me, it was a happy place because it connected me all the time to food.
That connection has led to a very successful business. His blends, which can include up to 23 herbs and spices, are sought after by some of the world's most famous chefs, including Eric Ripert and Daniel Boulud.
I like the spice inside. He was a good boy. He was a very good boy, very passionate, very serious, very committed. And at the same time, Lior is an artist.
An artist whose medium ranges between nature.
There's really no limits on what you could do with these blends.
And nurture.
I like this one.
Yeah, so this is a blend of 8 different peppers.
Fruity to floral.
The hints of the citrus are just
Boom.
boom.
Piney to pungent.
Okay. Ooh, it caught me that time.
Blends curated at times to the tastes of each customer.
We spend quite a bit of time with each person that comes here to ask them some simple questions. You know, what do you cook? What do you like? What you don't like? We have them smell and taste a bunch of spices. It's interesting because often they'll say, oh, I don't care much for this, and they'll end up buying it.
Really?
Well, because they have a pre-notion of something that they don't like, let's say celery seeds. I usually ask them, who did something wrong to your celery in the past? What happened to you in celery?
Lior Lev Sercarz was born in Israel, which is where he started cooking professionally. But he spiced up his life after a move to France while training with Michelin-starred chef Olivier Rollinger.
He was and still is very influential in my life and my career, cooking and spices. He was very smart in the idea of explaining to me that the spices that he was using were just a tool. The same way that he had a great knife or a cutting board. And he said, I want you to develop your own personality when it comes to taste, scent, and flavor by tasting these things, and I'll be here to help you along the journey.
That journey ultimately took him to New York City to work for Chef Boulud. But after 6 years, and with Boulud's blessing, he realized he could pursue a food career without being tied to a kitchen.
What was it about the kitchen you didn't like?
I never liked the service aspect of it, and that slowly convinced me that perhaps I need to keep on developing food, flavors, and scent, but outside of that environment.
You gave him an incredible piece of advice, which was, hey, the cooking isn't all there is for the restaurant business.
Clearly, Lior will always be a chef. I think he saw this opportunity to be able to remain a chef and very involved with the commitment of creating foods and making food.
Starting over meant blending in his basement for the first few years. Then, in 2011, he finally opened his own storefront, La Boîte, in New York City. What he came to realize, just like in the world of food, there's always more to master in the spice world.
How much have you explored in the realm of spice? Can you say 100%?
No way. I fortunately just came back from India after 12 years in the business. One of the most important moments was for me to stand in the equivalent of 50 football fields where they trade chilies on a daily basis. It took me back to basics, and I knew a lot already, so when you ask me how much do I know, I don't know if I can quantify it, but I don't know that I'm even halfway to where I want to be, and that's amazing.
Is this the new frontier in the world of culinary cuisine?
I think for Lior, what was important is to first source unique spice. Cumin is cumin, but maybe the cumin from a certain region of a certain country is better. And then from that is to be able to create subtle and unique blends who will be almost a trademark to him, these blends, but who will connect with the chef mind.
Sercarz still does business with his old boss. He's now just one of his best customers. Chef Boulud uses those blends in everything from his chicken tagine.
And when we say spicy, it's not hot spicy.
No.
To cocktail.
This cocktail has been made with gin, which is a collaboration with Lior, and the gin has been made with some Indonesian berries and some mint from Israel.
Well, cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. Voila. Oh, my.
It's perfect.
Where do you go from here?
The unbelievably exciting thing for me in the last 12 years is that there's no day that's the same. I don't know who's going to call and who I'm going to meet. Chefs and pastry chefs and chocolate makers and beer brewers and distillers and champagne makers. It's so exciting and the opportunities are endless.
Little piece of good news for this industry right now. Lior told us this week all of his employees are working and that the store is open for pickup. He says online sales went up about 40% this week because of all the people who are now cooking at home.
Fantastic to hear.